Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you for joining me here. I hope you're having a phenomenal day. Let's take a quick look here at Ethereum, see what's going on. We obviously broke our local ascending trend line, came down to pivot, more so consolidate at this local point of control at about 1590, and hasn't had a chance to retest that 1760 range. I actually have an alert here for that 1730, 1740 range to consider a short from before. I may consider that again, but I'm not going to just jump into that blindly. I want to make sure to reevaluate if that happens. So what we want to look at here is some back-end liquidation data, see what's going on, kind of go from there. I'll make it very quick and easy for you. And then make sure, in the meantime, you just hit that like button, comment below, like every video every time you watch. It really helps grow the channel. Unfortunately, YouTube's algorithm is really terrible unless everybody's liking the videos, and I get less than 5% likes on my videos, which is crazy considering how much good content I make or how much good feedback I make, kind of reinforcing the fact that I believe my content's good and valuable. So thank you so much. Anyways, enough about that. Let's take a quick look at Ethereum 1650 local resistance range here. We see a lot of liquidation just above the price. Okay, we look at the macro though, there's way more above than below. This does imply that pushing towards that $2,000 range is a distinct probability if Bitcoin can just stay in 85 to 87,000 K range. Really, all we need is Bitcoin to go sideways, and based on Bitcoin dominance just kind of going sideways too, we're going to start to see altcoins start to flourish. And this is one of those coins that's been significantly suppressed. So tons of selling pressure in this coin, but this is one of the first times in almost 5 days here where we can see liquidation delta has shifted bullish. Okay. Now keep in mind, this is a weekend. Okay. Weekends are very hard to read because there's low volume. Okay. So please recognize that we're not in a position right now where ETH is just going to break out. While it could and should show us some bullish confirming factors, there's a distinct probability this coin will continue to be held down, and just the fact that it's a weekend causes that selling pressure to be higher, or more important, just the volume is low, and generally I usually recommend not trading much, if at all, on weekends. That's just kind of my strategy, okay? So anyways, having said that, let's take a look at 1640, 1660. Those are the two heavier concentrations of open interest here locally. We can see some open interest below the price action, so we're finally starting to see some buying pressure just below. So this is good. As you start to build that volume base, the more likely the price is to go higher, okay? I just don't trust this kind of range-bound activity on a weekend, specifically based on how Bitcoin's been performing lately. So that being said, daily time frame, terrible. There's nothing, no other way around it. We consistently establishing lower highs and lower lows until we break free from our local range of just say 1670. Then we be very tentatively back on track. Okay, we really need a solid closure above like 1900 to 2000 to be like moderately bullish, and that's just a starting point. Okay, so please recognize Doghouse, Ethereum, yeah, those two things are synonymous right now. Okay, now when we look at all the SMAs, the majority of other coins are exuding bullish behavior. This one does not. There's only one good confirming factor here is our MACD letting us know that we are shifting momentum. Most coins have shifted momentum in the last 2 trading days. Having said that, the 4-hour time frame also should signify that we are kind of just barely breaking bullish, which you can see here. We got the 15 to 20-day SMA below the price action, and we look at the RSIs. We are over 50. Money flow index is above the price action. We're seeing a lot of good confirming factors in the 4-hour time frame. This does imply further upside makes sense. Do I want to take along with this coin right now? Definitely not. I like that we're maintaining above our 1580 point of control. That's good. That's a good sign, but that's not like enough to warrant a long position. Me personally, I'm going to wait until we see 1650, 1670 plus. We need to break above our local high here to have any legs to stand on. Those are things I like to look for. Personally, I just don't think this coin is ready. There's no other way around it. I'll continue to monitor and make sure we understand there is somewhat of a fair value gap upwards of 1730. But I'll tell you what, folks, if you take along with this coin, it's kind of like flipping a coin until you get what you want out of it, right? You're gonna see it's gonna be pretty consistent, kind of like break even. There's not a lot of firm indications here we're back on track and we're good to go. I'd much rather wait until a weekday occurs so we get higher volume so we know if this is even going to stick or not. Okay, so just some friendly advice, I would avoid this coin at the 10-foot pole until we see some bullish confirming factors, and we're a long ways away from that. All right, hope that makes sense. I described that correctly. Join us over on Twitter, Telegram, and Discord if you haven't already. I get the question all the time, so I may as well cover it. Yes, Bitunix has new promotions available for my members every single month. So this is the current one here. It's all available on Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. Links down below for that if you're curious. It's a phenomenal exchange, no KYC or VPN. Check them out. They've been great to us. I hope you have a good rest of your day, though. Thanks so much for your time. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.